Not too long ago, I believe the 20th of July, which was on a Monday, a small little direct from Nintendo was dropped. It was about a 10-minute little direct, as the name implies, and it was a partner showcase, meaning that they weren't going to show their big guns like their first parties and all that, and it was just a small little showcase of the other games that were already announced, way back when or whatever, and they wanted to just provide an update for those games. And that's all it was. And they made it very clear that, that was going to be happening. And yet, a good chunk of the franchise, if not half of them, or not franchise, the fan base, if not half of them or even more at this point, displayed their dislike, to say the least. To put it nicely, one way was to, thumb it down on the actual direct itself, the past broadcast or the VOD that they dropped from the live stream. It was a really basic, direct. There wasn't any like webcams or person to like host it or anything like that. It was a mini direct. It was very straightforward. It was direct to the point, and they did what they said, and yet people have these just, well, I want to say these fanboys of Nintendo, for whatever reason, still wanted to put these expectations way up high, way too up high for their own good, and they just come out absolutely disappointed. And that, has led them to just do all these ridiculous things that, pretty much your typical... Well, actually, it even kind of goes beyond your typical fanboy. It's just ridiculous because, Nintendo, for example, made it very clear that this direct wasn't going to be the direct that most people wanted to see. They made that very clear. And yet, people are still hating on it. They still thought that... They still thought that, these first-party games or reveals were going to happen in somewhere in between. Like, it was going to be a big surprise or something. But no, like, it was just... It is what it was. Or it was what it was, to say the least. But, I don't know. I mean, it really shows of how bad a fan base can be, or a community can be. Which sucks, there are people who obviously... accepted it. They tolerated it for what it was. I even went out my way to record it before I went to work because it was a 10-minute direct, so why not? And pretty much this was my majority of the reaction video.
Character pack. 5 newly added characters join the ensemble. Impa excels in ranged attacks with the Nagi.
Tokyo died, and I was given life.
So yeah, that's why I didn't put it up. So I was just munching away, and the only thing that really caught my attention was the stuff from Atlas, which was the, a remaster of a older game, or a game that already came out, and it was a Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne of sorts game that is getting a re-release with a remaster HD, makeover, you know what I mean? And it looks good, for what it is. I never played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games in the past, so I'm kind of new to all this, beyond some lore and some vague connections with Persona, as that's the franchise I tend to be more familiar with, as I played Persona 5 and some of the dancing games. And here in Shin Megami Tensei, they showed not only the re-release or HD re-release, remaster, whatever you want to call it, they also mention, what do you know, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Holy crap, we haven't heard that game for a good while. I think it's been like a good couple of years now, and here we are, talking about it, right? That, hey, they remembered Shin Megami Tensei 5, and it's coming around 2021. I forget the exact release window, forgive me, but it's coming. That's all that matters, and that's what this direct was intended for. It's just to show off certain games, telling us, hey, these games are coming, or these games are happening. Don't worry, you know, especially for the Atlas fans who like the Shin Megami Tensei games. When it comes to that, I do want to talk about it for a little bit. Personally, for me, I did display some sort of initial interest of Tensei or Shin Megami or SMT, I should say. Early on when it was first teased during one of the very first main reveals when it came to Switch games or whatever. I forget which exact year. I want to say 2018, but I could be wrong. Anywho, I had initial interest, but now it's starting to kind of wane a little bit. I do want to give it a week after it launches and stuff, because you know, I heard that this is quite the difficult game, to say the least. And I just don't want to just pour my money into it and winding up not liking it because it's just not my kind of game. You know, not definitely. I don't expect it to be a bad game at all or anything like that. But you know, the difficulty could be a factor as to me not completing it all the way, which would be therefore kind of a waste of money. So I kind of wanted to just at least sit back and see what the gameplay is going to be like. If it looks really cool or something, then I'll be more likely to get it myself, because I'm always up for some cool looking JRPGs, especially when they're turn-based. You know, that's more of my jam. But if it's more or less, you know, kind of looking like the remaster of the other Shin Megami Tensei game that's coming, I don't know. Point being, I do want to see more of it, as I think that's the pretty safe thing to say here. So right now, I'm not completely 100% sold on it. I'm not gonna pre-order or go out my way to buy it on day one or anything like that. For right now, I do want to see more of it. I want to see the gameplay of it later on. I will wait patiently because there's still other things to do. Now, that's all I gotta say for the direct itself. The other games that were announced, I barely remember them, to be honest here, other than that one third-person shooter in that WWE game. That looks absolutely goofy, and the wrestlers that were presented in that video, I don't know. I have no comment other than it really looks obvious that they're not actually playing the game. That's all I'm gonna say for that part. I think that's pretty much it. I think that was all the games that they showed off. I think they also showed off that one game. I want to say it's the one with the girl with the really nice thighs or whatever. Everyone's talking about her right now on Twitter anyway. I forget the name. It starts with an A. I think it's got Riza or something like that. Riza, I don't know. It's got an A, it's got an R somewhere in the name of the title. That might have been in there, but that could have been just a simultaneous announcement along with the direct mini, just by coincidence or whatever. All I can say is that I barely remember any other game other than the Shin Megami Tensei stuff that was saved for the end of it. So that really says something about that game, right? Anyway, the reaction from me personally was just okay, this is all we got. Cool. You know, that's pretty much what I expected. They didn't show off any Smash, anything, more enticing. But, that's what I expected. That's what they made clear of the announcement of the Direct and leading all the way up to the Direct itself. And they said there's going to be more. So why are people even complaining right now? Just wait. There's going to be more announcements later on down the line. So you got to take a chill pill, man. That's all I got to say about the fans that are just outraged for whatever reason, that expected to see F-Zero and all these ridiculous expectations that they set up for themselves to be disappointed for whatever reason. I remember one of the tweets that someone put out it was a screenshot of someone's thumbnail, and it had all these ridiculous like characters on here, you know, implying that, oh, they're gonna make it into this direct, you know, and just really expecting for these games to be revealed. Like the Pikmin game, the new Pikmin game, new F-Zero game. I think Star Fox was thrown in there somewhere. You know, you get it. Like, these ridiculous expectations were still brought up for themselves, and like I don't understand it. They just absolutely have the nerve to go out their way and still express their outrage for something that was made clear, and it was clearly not gonna happen. And just here we are talking about it because fans can be just really dumb. That's all I'm gonna say. People can be really dumb, and that's just a little sad to say, because, and also quite frankly embarrassing, you know, as someone who likes Nintendo, no, loves Nintendo, right? This channel has been all about Nintendo from the past, still is about Nintendo, frankly. I think so, right? Yes, I do, you know, feature other games and all that, but always through and through, I love Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo fan. But even I, you know, had just like I listened to what they said. I listened to what they were going to, you know, pretty much present. And yeah, that's, my expectations were absolutely met. And I'm not mad or anything like that. And I was more like, all right, cool, you know, while I was eating my breakfast or whatever. So, I don't know, man. It's just, the nerve that these people have. It's just so, I just don't have words to describe it other than embarrassing, ridiculous, just flat out stupid. That's all I can say about that. From the thumbs downs and everything, it just, I hope Nintendo doesn't take this the wrong way, and they just don't give us these mini directs or just any direct at all for the future because of these fans just acting so volatile for whatever reasons they have to just act like that. You know, just have an excuse to just yell at the internet, you know, just mash on the keyboards and do what they do, I guess, best, sadly, which is to just rage through their keyboard and just be these knuckleheads, to put it nicely. And yeah, you get what I'm trying to say here about these fanboys, that they just love to just why? Like, why? It's just so clearly written, and yet there were still people out there that just are willing to go out the way to just make up these really ridiculous predictions and all that stuff. And yeah, all right. So before I go into the loop, I'm gonna stop. So overall, I think that the mini direct itself did the job. It absolutely did. I thought it was all right. You know, Shin Megami Tensei, cool. You know, we got some announcements for that. Awesome. All the other games, meh. You know, it's a pass. Maybe that JRPG game with the hot chick, whatever, with the nice legs. I don't know. I mean, I forget her name. I don't know the name of the game in general, but all I know is that people are just crazy for her legs for whatever reason. Okay, I understand why, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. So that's my thoughts on the mini direct, my thoughts on the direct itself, but not only that, but the reactions and overall sort of situation involving with the fan base. That's just absolutely ridiculous regarding to their reactions and expectations for this mini direct. So I mean, they even said it, like, COVID-19 has made things difficult, and they're doing their best to bring, you know, continue to bring, you know, whatever they can to us, Nintendo fans or whatever. So Some people just want some excuses to just go yell and be angry for whatever reason. So, man, that's the internet for you. Oh, that's another day. Just another day on Twitter. Just another day on the internet in general. Got these angry fanboys just doing what they, I guess, do best, unfortunately, which is looking really stupid and foolish on the internet. So, if you have any thoughts or comments or anything of that, please leave it down below. Really love to check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the most helpful way to support not only this channel but all your favorite YouTubers. So really appreciate if you guys can do that, and that's a way for you guys to be notified. Oh, and of course hit the bell. That way you're notified to see when I upload and stuff like that. So also I have a Twitter. Check out all those links in the description box. And yeah, so this has been my Hawke Talks on the mini direct, my thoughts on it, and also my thoughts on the fan base reactions / thoughts about it, whatever. So really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.